Hello out to all you wonderful people. This is Andre the Game, my dear guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear listening into another Gamer Styles discussion. And this one's going to be a little bit more serious than normal. Mostly because this has to do with the TikTok ban, quote unquote, that is being debated over and talked over in Congress and such now that people have picked up steam on. So as per usual, something like this, I decided to wait a little bit, wait for more information to become available, wait for things to be open to the public, wait for people to dissect information and such, because that was the smarter thing to do. Because I noticed that there were some people who jumped on the bandwagon. Well, yeah, we can get rid of TikTok. It's un-American. But like, honestly, most of the stuff that is in this country now isn't even made here. That is a horrible argument to make, for one. Two, it wasn't going to stop at TikTok. I already knew that immediately. Because there are some things in there, and yes, the media, not the social media, but formerly known as mainstream media, will push the idea that, hey, TikTok is doing all these horrible things with people's information and data. There's a potential chance that that could be true, but the same could be said for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, anything that you utilize for social media. Hell, dating sites could do the same thing. Streaming sites could do the same thing. Twitch, Kick. This could be done anywhere. It can be done and housed anywhere. Hell, sites like Rumble could do this, even though Rumble is more for free speech. But Rumble could do this as well. So any site potentially that has millions of users could do this. Any app that has millions of users could do this. Like Zoom, Skype, Duo, Google Meet, Discord. Anything could do that. Anything could share information. Any of them could share information. And guess what is in this bill, this proposed bill? Having access to anything that has millions of users. Any electronics or software that have millions of users. So that can include your game consoles, your phone, your computer, your tablet, hell, your security system. Anything. Literally, legitimately, anything. And I think it's getting put on I believe the Secretary of Commerce, I think, is who they said would have the control over whether or not certain things get banned. You could be thrown in jail for using a VPN. I mean, that's just that's screwy as hell. So if something is unavailable here and I would like to see it, but I have a legal means to do it through a VPN, I now don't have that legal means because it becomes illegal. So, yeah, that's pretty hefty to think about. And my first thought is, the second that they talked about TikTok, that anything else that would be similar in any way, shape, or form, or do something similar, like, again, Instagram, Snapchat, Clapper. I know it's not as many people on Clapper, but Clapper is another option where this could be a problem. There's a lot of potential invasion of privacy on the table here, just over what you utilize. Hell, services that are used for payment like PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all of that stuff can get hit pretty daggone hard for this bill, if this bill is pushed forward. And TikTok is being used as the scapegoat because TikTok is the foreign app that people want to get rid of. And if you get enough people bandwagoning behind this idea without actually going into the critical detail of it, and they say, hey, take away another thing from us, take another thing that we can do away from us, and let us use this thing that's very similar. But then they're like, no, we took this thing for these reasons and we can take that thing for these exact same reasons. Because information and data is being shared out. I mean, if we're being honest with ourselves, it's probably happening on multiple different fronts anyway. It's just depending on what information is beneficial to the people that are in charge and in power. If it's information that is beneficial to them, Sure, they don't mind it being sent out, but if it's information that's detrimental to them, then they have a problem with it. Like how there are attempts to reinstate Jim Crow in the South. That was found out through TikTok. Or that was spread through TikTok, I should say. Stuff like that, they don't want us to know about. And they don't want people to have the option to find it. I mean, sure, yeah, there are going to be whistleblowers everywhere. There are going to be people sharing that information everywhere. But who's in charge of how that information gets out? So we're going to run into a situation where a lot of these companies have to comply with these certain rules in order to be able to remain functional, which could mean, hey, information that you send out is being controlled by who knows. And you may not be able to have the platforms that you think are free for you to say what you want. Like people go to Rumble because they dislike the way YouTube works. That might not be an option going further down the line. Or people are going to Kick now because they don't like how Twitch is working or how live streaming on YouTube is working. That may not be an option. If all of the services are kind of wrangled up and then forced to work within a certain set of rules to even be operable. Yeah, that's something to think about. That is something to consider. And this is the thing that I've potentially been scared of happening myself because of a heavy reliance on social media and information technology. We've become highly, highly dependent on the internet for a number of things. And information gets shared very quickly through the internet. It's something to be a little bit worried about. Now, people can go to their congressmen, their representatives, and voice their opinions, and you do that in droves, maybe things might turn the way that we need them to. I mean, I don't particularly have an issue if TikTok itself gets banned, but I knew if TikTok got banned, it wasn't just stopping at TikTok. It was going to be a widespread thing where a bunch of stuff was going to be hit, and they were going to be told, hey, we're doing this for your own good. We're doing this to protect you. We're doing this to protect your information from who? Who is going to worry about Bobby Wilson on 5th Street deciding that he wanted to play Fortnite for 5 hours on stream? Besides the people that watch that stream. Who is going to care about Kendra Douglas sitting down and doing a makeup tutorial for 5 minutes on TikTok or Clapper? Who? Who is going to worry about Enrique Gonzalez sitting down and giving his commentary on a boxing match? Who cares? And yes, I pulled all of these names randomly and these events or whatever happenings randomly off the top of my head. It's just one of those things that becomes either one, a way to make money or keep money from other people. As well as keeping control of the populace. And the screwy thing is, the people that are trying to keep control of everything aren't long for this world by their age, unless they found some way to become immortal. Say maybe they found the fountain of youth. But it's just one of those things that's concerning, and people should be on the lookout for this type of stuff. And these crackdowns started years ago when the whole advertising campaign problem happened with YouTube. That's where a lot of this started. It was kind of a push, slow boil the frog thing. Say, we're going to take a little bit away from you, see how much you complain. Then we're going to take another little bit from you, see how much you complain. Then we're going to take another little bit from you, see how much you complain. This time, maybe they kicked the hornet's nest a little too hard. But that's how a lot of this stuff works. So, it's just one gamer's opinion. Just saying, keep your eyes out on stuff. Obviously, I can only say and do so much. I only have a limited amount of knowledge, but I do have a mind that kind of runs through these imaginative scenarios on a regular basis. So, again, it's just my opinion that this is something to be concerned about. And hopefully we get enough voices, enough people interested in saying, hey, look, please don't support this bill. We don't need this to happen. Maybe it won't happen. Yeah, maybe they'll just cover up that a bunch of people said no to it and do it anyway. You never know. But I do know that we usually have like these big overblown situations thrown out, and then something else is happening behind the scenes that you don't notice. This is one of those things that I think is covering for something else, but this itself is also a hugely, horribly bad thing. So it could be, hey, the concession is here. Okay, well, we'll let you keep it. We'll drop this off the table, but we've already secretly passed like 5 or 6 other laws that may be a detriment to you that you don't know about. So it's always good to keep your mind open to that type of stuff. Hell, because apps like what I'm using right now, Spotify for podcasters, which was formerly known as Anchor. Stuff like Stitcher, or honestly, there are so many that are out there. But it's just one of those things I'm very concerned with. You got Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, which hosts podcasts, Audible, which hosts podcasts. I'm actually on both of those. Didn't realize it until a little while ago. Just anything that you utilize, any streaming platform whatsoever, music or otherwise. Anything that has social online interaction, or even just interaction with a bunch of different people. Hell, at this point, the argument could be made that Android, Kindle, and Apple, all their platforms, no matter what you're doing, can be touched. You could just be making a simple phone call one-to-one to another person and your stuff could be touched. So again, just one gamer's opinion. You don't have to see the value in it, but again, just my individual opinion that stuff like this is horrible for individual people. Especially stuff that you can be jailed for that is innocuous and doesn't actually hurt anyone. Because if using a VPN to use your already established account to view something that is unavailable to you in your current country is going to become illegal when you're still paying for the service, that's a problem to me. Just saying. I don't know. I don't want to drag this on too much more. I think I've said and repeated the same thing over and over multiple times. But I think it would be a good idea if people did speak up about it and say what they needed to say, and hopefully inspire their representatives to at least agree with them. But I'm going to go ahead and stop here. Again, I've run my mouth enough. Thank you guys very much for humoring me and listening in. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, I guess keep an eye on the people that are above you. Peace out, everybody.